bottom left-hand corner, game number 2, we have Smorty, the red Protoss. And up in the okay, enough of the voice. And up in the top left-hand corner, we have Morbis, the blue Protoss. And I am really excited for this game because this is the game that sort of shows who's got the dominance, and or like it shows how even their matches really are. If it ends up being 1-1, then we can have a really good series ahead of us. And if Smorty pulls out another game, then we might be seeing a 3-0.
Oh, totally, I agree. And just for people who haven't played this map before, let's give a quick map kind of overlay. The main is massive on this map. You know, you can build a million bases inside your own base, and however, contrasts when you move up to the natural here with a very tight choke leading outwards into almost these destructible rocks that cover the Xel'Naga towers, with many, many paths of attack coming in on your natural.
Oh, and you said it quite right, Broody. And there's actually 4 Xel'Naga towers on this map, and a lot of them are hidden by destructible rocks. 3 of them are hidden by destructible rocks. Only the one in the middle is one that you can get to.
Indeed. You see, I would say the best idea would be to secure the center, and then after you secure the center, break down your own rocks almost, so you can have vision beyond that. Definitely you want to break down your opponent's rocks as well, so you can see any kind of transfers up to the potential third bases of your opponent, and kind of keep a track on the army. It helps you do a lot of stuff. Eating a Twix. Nice. I haven't had a Twix in years. And
oh, they're so good. Alright, I eat it. Okay. What I was about to say is that I'm so excited for the players to be on this map, because when you're on this map, I've seen so many brilliant pro games on this map, and this map is actually really balanced. It's almost always in the map pool of pro tournaments, and there's so much creativity you can do. There's hidden naturals you can take, destructible rocks, lots of really cool terrain elements. There's high ground, low ground. There's destructible rocks all over the place. Xel'Naga towers, high cliffs, low cliffs, big cliffs, small cliffs, red cliffs, blue cliffs, and I'm done being Dr. Seuss.
Well, that was a good Dr. Seuss reference, because I haven't heard anything that good in a while, especially from Dr. Seuss. And another thing would be I like the high cliff, low cliff. Also, the one right beside the gold with the destructible rocks blocking it. I thought that was probably my favorite part about this map.
I think it is really cool how they have destructible rocks all over the place. They really utilize everything that you could do in the map editor, and I think it's so cool that they have destructible rocks blocking the gold, but blocking Xel'Naga Tower or Xel'Naga Watchtowers. I think this was the first map where they actually utilized Xel'Naga or destructible rocks to block Xel'Naga Watchtowers in that fashion, and I think it's way cool. And if you notice, there are little places where Reapers can jump up into. There's actually steam along the edges where drops can come in undetected. There's so many cool things about this map.
I agree, and I just wanted to bring focus back to the game for a sec. We did notice Morbis was saving up his chrono boost a little bit, and he dropped a way early second gas, but recently he has pulled all of his workers off of that second class -1, so he's going to be saving for some kind of play, maybe more sentries. Oh, it actually is the fast robo, while his opponent Smorty has gone for the 1 gas early, just recently getting his other gas and now adding his robo, opting to get a bit more stalkers early. Maybe he feels threatened that an all-in might be coming from his opponent.
Do you think we're going to see a big 2-racks play or 2-base play on this map, or do you think we're going to see more of a really long late game? We're going to see Colossus, maybe some Phoenix. Phoenixes are always way cool in PvPs, because Phoenixes are trying to hit the Colossus, and the Colossus are trying to hit the Stalkers, and the Stalkers are trying to hit the Phoenix. It's like it becomes almost TVT-ish, where all the units become utilized.
Yeah, it's almost like a ping-pong matchup. I'm not really sure right now. I would love to see a macro game played out, maybe 2-base, and hopefully move on to a 3-base, because that third base is easy to secure, but honestly, ultimately, I think this is going to move up to Colossus-focused play, and yeah, I think it's going to be about who has more Colossus, and usually that tends to stick to 2-base, and whoever goes to take the third base is the one who gets taken out without good control of units.
Right, and that's where it's probably about the 20-18 minute mark. Thinking, oh, by the way, I just noticed something. If you hover your cursor directly over Smorty's base, and then scroll to the right, there's actually a smiley face on this map with the two gas geysers and the mineral line, and that just makes me laugh every single time I see it. And so I'm like trying to like stifle a laugh every single time I look at the mini map. But they go, oh, ho, 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 look at that! There's a smiley face, and yeah. Just had to point that out. I'm sorry. I had to do it. We actually have the observers crossing paths here. One's going to, or they're both going to each other's bases. Try to see what's up, and I'm thinking there's not a lot of information in either of these bases. Oh, except for the warp prism. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll be just doing the special tactics again?
You know,
going for the 4 zealots?
He is gonna try it, but unfortunately for him, that observer did scout, and we did get the confirmation that the observer saw it because it turned around and started following the warp prism for just a second. The other observer coming into the base, checking out, making sure it's safe for that warp prism to enter, and you know what? It is, because of the size of the map. Smorty is not going to see that right away, so he's going to try to punish his opponent the exact same way that he got punished last game while taking his second expansion, or his first expansion, so he almost took a lesson out of Smorty's book. But one thing that might play against him is the fact that Smorty does have Colossus coming out first and range.
Now, interesting thing here, he actually made 3 Stalkers instead of 3 Zealots, and this is a terrible decision on his part. Good decision on Morty, focusing down that Warp Prism, making sure that these Stalkers can't pick up and get away, and that was a big win for Smorty.
Oh, indeed. We'll take a look at the units lost. About equal, but for the money traded, oh my god, I almost missed the battle going on at the front of the base. He did manage to push up with almost superior numbers, except for the zealot count, so he has to kind of use his force fields to push back.
Oh no. Oh, that sentry got picked off. That's going to be a huge deal because now he can't do force fields efficiently. And however, this was still a win for Morbis because he got his expansion down, and that's all he wanted to do with this push. That's the only thing I think that's like the only reason he pushed, to be honest.
Yeah, and wow, I'd like to say that Morbis did secure his natural base. Smorty has seen it, but now Smorty's kind of answering that Warp Prism drop, saying, you know what, hey, I've got more skills in that sense. He's going to try to push at the same time, but afterwards, you can see by the long distance of the Warp Prism going around, he might try to push first and then drop Immortals in the back, and this is an excellent idea. Perhaps he can snipe tech, kind of stop his opponent from actually making it to Colossus himself. So I really like this play, but Morbis is now moving out to kind of engage that force in the center of the map.
2 Immortals being dropped down inside Morbis' base while there's a battle going on. The Zealots are trying to get a swing wraparound or a surround. Smorty takes his way back, and tons of units are being morphed into this into Morbis' base. Is this robo facility going to be taken down? Yes, it is. That Mortal doesn't get come out, and now Smorty is in a huge lead. More brilliant play coming down. Oh my gosh, that unit being warped in on the pylon was cancelled because the pylon did go down.
Yeah, it was actually a zealot, and he didn't manage to get it in. And now, smart move. He's going to try to pull out, and he just barely, by the skin of his teeth, makes it up the top of the map, keeping his Immortals alive. That would have been an incredible loss if those 2 Immortals went down.
For sure. Does he have Graviton Booster? I think he does. I didn't actually see. Yeah. No, he doesn't have Gravitic Booster. That's so hard to say for me. Every single time I say Gravitic Booster, it just feels weird in my mouth. It's like saying moist or ointment or maybe like lumber. Like none of those words actually sound or feel good to say.
Yeah, I kind of get that same feeling too. They should have called it Gravitron.
Gravitron would have been so much cooler, but they just ruined it. It's like saying jowls. You can't say jowls without frowning. And now all of you who just heard me are like actually saying it out loud, feeling a little bit silly because you know it's true. But yeah, that's actually how it goes down. You just, I don't know. Moving on.
What
I don't know.
is a jowls?
Jowl is I think it's like a dog's mouth or something. I don't know.
Oh,
it's like the
wow.
jowls. I don't know. It has something to do with the mouth, I think. Yeah, that third base got canceled for Morbis. He's trying to get ahead by, falling behind. But, yeah, these 3 Stalkers. I think Smarty could actually leave his Immortals and cleaned up those 3 zealots and continued whacking at this pylon, but now that the 3 stalkers are made, he's going to have to hightail out of there.
And Gravitic Booster has just finished as we see the Warp Prism kind of speed away. Worker counts are identical right now, but I mean, Morbis has pulled ahead, but Morbis did not transfer any of his probes, so even though he expanded early, Smortis has the defining lead, especially with Colossi on the field. He's working ahead to 3-4 Colossi right now. As we switch to the production tab, Morbis is almost kind of sticking to Immortal Tech, and this is an okay decision if he utilizes Micro in the proper fashion.
You got it spot on, but the problem is once Colossus come out, force fields are moot to Morbis, but however, since Morbis doesn't have any massive units, force fields are going to completely wreck Morbis' army, and so here comes Morbis completely sees this drop coming. I don't know if it's actually going to work again this time. He has his overseer or observer over here, he's going to see it, but Smorty actually decides to go a different direction.
Indeed, and thankfully... Yeah, he
wait,
might get it.
Oh, come on.
No, they're not focus firing the War Prism, which is what he would need to do in this position. And forced to cancel that 3rd base. It is going to stay on 2-base play from now on. And you know what? Morbis has lost almost way too much money to stay in this game and way too much tech.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a GG here soon, because if you look at Morbis' army, there's just not enough to it. 4 Colossus do a ton of damage, and we're going to see the GG almost immediately.
Oh, indeed. And, yeah, so the battle's going on. As you predicted, those force fields are handling all the units. And GG
no GG.
No GG on that.
No GG.
Oh, my God.
Alright, I think he's just ready for Game 3. He wants to get this series over with.
Alright. Good game. So Smorty comes up 2-0 in the series so far.